Hello everyone, and welcome to the Adconf Volume 4. I'm Maxime Chevalon, Adcash Chief Operating Officer, and today I'm very happy to be not only your host for the whole session, but also a speaker. Today's topic, as in the very last session of the year, is how to make affiliate marketing work for you in 2021. I'm pleased to have two very good guests with us today. First of all, Dasha Nazarova. Dasha is the Head of Marketing and Partnership Communication at RedTrack. And second, Luke Kling. Luke is a super affiliate and the founder of the great community that is Affiliate. So we are super excited today because the volume 4 of Adconf has been beating records in terms of registrations. We are over 500 people at least that have registered, and hopefully the volume of participants will follow as well. But okay, without further ado, let me drive you through the agenda of today. My opening words are going to take a bit less than 10 minutes. Luke will then take it over from me and do the first presentation. Topic of Luke is how to go from red to green with basic affiliate marketing fundamentals. I'll then take the mic back to drive you through the second presentation from Adcash. My topic is recap on a roller coaster year, 2020's main trend, and the main takeaways or learning for 2021. Last but not least, Dasha will do the last presentation from RedTrack. And Dasha's topic is holiday season optimization rush to reap the benefits in 2021. In around an hour and 10 minutes, we'll then have a Q&A session of 20 minutes long. So I encourage you all, even though we already got a lot of questions through people subscribing or registering in the event, I encourage you all to ask questions through the Q&A little icon you must see on your Zoom screen. And then I will wrap up the conference. All right, so, well, let me introduce you, Luke, and wish you all a great Adconf Volume 4. Luke, you can take it from here.
All right, pull up my presentation. Maybe. Okay, so my name is Luke Kling. I'm a super affiliate and the founder of Affiliate. And today I want to talk about going from red to green with basic affiliate marketing fundamentals. So a little bit about me. I have over 17 years of experience in the affiliate marketing space. I started affiliate marketing a long time ago, and back then things were a lot different than they are today. I've worked as an affiliate manager for 2 different affiliate networks. I worked for a company called XY7, and then most of you probably know me from Purefly.
Luke?
And I've managed...
Sorry to interrupt. We don't see your presentation for some reason just yet on the screen.
Oh, okay. Is that better?
There you go. Thanks.
Oh, sorry about that. Let me go back. Like I was saying, I've managed close to 100,000 affiliate relationships. So I've been doing this quite a long time, and I have quite a bit of experience, not only in the affiliate space, but working with different types of affiliates. But throughout that time, there's been a pretty consistent set of fundamentals that I think every affiliate needs to know. So like I said, a lot has changed since I started, but the fundamentals have always been the same. And the basics are, you track your clicks, you track your conversions, and then you do your optimization, which we're going to talk a little bit about all of that. But first, we're doing a giveaway. So the goal here is to get everybody engaged in participating in the discussion. And if you follow me at all, then you know I love to answer questions. So we're going to have the Q&A at the end. So please take an opportunity to create your question, or I'm sorry, post your question, and we'll we'll be picking one random person, and they'll get a free lifetime membership to my affiliate marketing forum, Adlift. So let's talk about the clicks. One big mistake a lot of affiliates make is they just consider them clicks, but they're not just clicks. So whenever you have a click come in on a campaign that you're running, you're collecting data. It's all about the data. Every half decent affiliate knows this, but when you're first getting started, it's easy to kind of get overwhelmed by everything that's happening all at once, and you don't really consider what you're actually buying when you're paying for traffic. So behind every single click, there's a piece of data that you can learn from, and I think this is true for every single campaign. I mean, I run tens of millions, hundreds of millions of clicks a year, and behind every single one of those clicks is a piece of data that can help improve my campaigns. You have to pull in all of that data into one big batch of data to really be able to use it, but that big batch of data is just a ton of little pieces. So an example is that Adcash sells you the click, and then RadTrack shows you what it means. RadTrack is a tracker. So Adcash, you're buying the click. The tracker you use helps you determine what that data is going to be able to show you to help make your campaign successful. So you will not be successful with affiliate marketing until you learn that it takes more than buying clicks and hoping for conversions. Over my years as an affiliate manager and now through Adlift, I see pretty consistently newer people to the industry, and even some experienced people. They'll be running traffic and they just like, why is this not working? Like, why is this not performing? Why am I not making any money? And then you get to talking to them and you realize that like this person hasn't even really looked at the data behind the clicks. Like they're just looking at the totals. They're saying, I had 10,000 clicks and no conversions. Like something horribly wrong is going on here. But that's not true. You have to take a look and see like what is happening with those 10,000 clicks. Tracking has changed a lot, but it's the most important part of your campaign. It's super interesting right now. There's a big shift in the industry with tracking. We'll talk about that a little bit. If you're not tracking all of the data, you're wasting your money. Like I just said, it's very important, and pretty much everyone that's been doing this a little while knows like you have to track your campaigns. You have to have a decent tracker and be able to collect that data to figure out what's going on. Use every single tracking token. This is another thing that like the pro affiliates or people that are successful at affiliate marketing they're definitely doing that the new guys aren't yet. Your traffic source has like a ton of different data points that you can collect in most cases. And unless you're getting as much of that as possible, you're kind of wasting your money. Because like I said before, that data is what you're paying for. And tracking has improved tremendously since I started doing affiliate marketing. When I first started, there were no cloud servers. Like you had to set up your own server. You had to hope it didn't go down, which is still an option for a lot of people. But it's nothing like it is now. And we're going to talk about some of the improvements that tracking has seen over the past couple of years. But really what it comes down to is it still goes back to the basics. I mean, if you understand the basics from running many campaigns, you can take the improvements that we're seeing in the tracking space and use it to your advantage. But really, I mean, it all boils down to being able to go through and see, each segment of your traffic, how it's performing, and go through that data. One major improvement that we've seen is from the traffic source side is CPA pricing. It's all the rage, and it will be next year too. Most traffic sources now are integrating with some sort of CPA pricing or CPA target pricing. It's been interesting. This is something that Google and Facebook first started with a CPA pricing model, and it was interesting, and it's turned out to be amazing. When they first introduced it, it was like, what is this all about? But now it's incredible what they're able to do, and a lot of the less I'm not going to say less mainstream, but the other traffic sources, the ones that we are using more, like Adcash, they have their own type of algorithm and CPA type campaigns, which is really cool. I think this is a cool trend. So basically what they do is they make automatic optimizations based on your CPA goal or target. So when you're setting up your campaign, you put in, okay, this offer that pays $1, I want to get a conversion every time I spend, up to 70 cents. So then you have like a 30% margin. And then their system will do the optimizations for you. This is really cool. It's an awesome feature, and it's definitely a benefit to many affiliates. But I do think it's really important that you still know how to use your tracker, and you still know how to make the improvements to your campaign yourself. You can't be completely dependent on the traffic source being able to do that for you, in my opinion. You still need to know how to use your tracker and do your optimizations so that you know why the algorithm is doing what it's doing as far as optimizing your campaign for you. We're going to see more and more traffic sources, I think, adding this capability, and I think it's going to continue to improve. And it's very exciting, but it's still very important that you know on the back end, like, this is what it's doing. Auto optimization, this is another really cool advancement that we've seen. This is from more the tracker side. So on the traffic source side, we talked about the CPA pricing and the ability to automatically kind of optimize your campaign on the traffic source side. Well, the auto optimization is been something that's been in the works in the industry for a while, but just recently we've seen a drastic increase in the amount of companies that are putting their resources into this. So using automatic optimization to your advantage, you're able to use your tracker to do some of the optimizations that, fundamentally you should be able to do yourself. But as time goes on, we're going to want to use machines for more and more. So this is an opportunity to use a machine, your tracker, to do some of the work for you. This is something that I've been wishing for a long time. Anyone that's been running campaigns for 5-10 years, that the hard part, I enjoy it, but I know a lot of people don't, is crunching through the numbers, going through it every single day, figuring out, okay, this is working, this isn't working, why isn't this working, what's a good way to, what can I remove from this campaign to improve performance, what can I add to it. For people that have been doing that for a while, we've all been like, okay, it'd be cool to have a machine to do this. A lot of affiliates, super affiliates, will hire like a virtual assistant to do it. But now it seems like we're getting to the point where computers are going to be able to do it for us, which is pretty cool. And then I think in 2021, we'll continue to push forward to make optimization easier from a technological standpoint. But again, it's still important that you need to know the basics and learn the fundamentals of optimizing and managing your own campaigns. Landing pages are huge. This is something that, on AffLift, my affiliate marketing forum, we have a lot of discussion around landing pages, because I think it's the difference between a campaign. A lot of times it's the difference between a campaign that you can really scale and see a dramatic increase in ROI, and something that is just maybe like a small winner or potentially even a small loser. Landing pages give you the opportunity to beat your competition with something unique. The angles, which we'll talk about a little bit, I mean, that's kind of what makes most affiliate marketing campaigns successful. Unless an offer has an amazing landing page and it's not getting run by 500 other affiliates, it's going to be kind of hard to get profitable direct linking, even with all the optimization and automatic optimization that you can do. It's still difficult. So a landing page is kind of where you can take your creative side and use it to your advantage. So my recommendation is just learn basic copywriting, learn basic HTML. It doesn't have to be overly complicated. Landing pages, for the most part, don't have to be super complicated. It's things that you can start learning this stuff, and within 6 months have a pretty good base. And then testing the angles. Technology is making affiliate marketing easier, but you need to learn the basics. It all goes back to the basics. And I think basic copywriting, basic HTML, those are things that every affiliate needs to eventually get to learn. Maybe when you're first starting out, it's not as important as just getting a feel for how everything works. But once you're the point where you're running campaigns and you're concerned about your ROI, overly concerned about your ROI, I think that's a good time to go ahead and start researching this stuff. My 2021 predictions. I think next year we're going to have a better year than this year. That's about the easiest prediction to make, I think, for most people. It's not been a great year for I think most of the world. So I'm definitely optimistic for 2021 for affiliate marketing and obviously just personal stuff too. So last year, coming into this year, everybody kept asking me what was going to happen with push notifications, because push notification, the ad format is kind of being abused, and everybody wanted to know what was going to happen. And I told them last year, I was like, oh, I think push is going to be fine. This year, I don't know. Honestly, I don't know what's going to happen. Nobody really knows. There's tons of opportunity with other ad formats. So who really knows what's going to happen with push? As long as it's still an opportunity, I'm going to take advantage of it. But who knows? CPA pricing and automatic optimization are going to be money. This is a trend that we've been seeing, and it's not going anywhere, and it's just going to make for even more opportunities for affiliates next year. Like I said, I think we're going to see more traffic sources integrating CPA pricing, making their CPA pricing algorithms better. We're already seeing this year. And then the automatic optimization, we're seeing all the trackers integrating with this, and we're seeing separate tools come out that make it easier to do. And I think it's just this is a really good trend for the industry as far as, helping affiliates make more money and get better campaigns going and more successful. On the tech side, we're doing really well. And then another thing, I think spy tools are going to make a lot of money, and that's because they're awesome. If you've been doing affiliate marketing for more than a couple of months, you've probably run into a few of the spy tools being mentioned. I think spy tools are amazing. I know that there's, the negative side of people then are able to see your campaigns and stuff. But it's from a research standpoint, I mean, I use the spy tools. I check them, 2 or 3 times a week. I'll go through and just do some research to figure out, okay, what's hot right now, what's picking up steam, what am I missing on my campaigns? And yeah, so I think next year and moving forward, those are going to become more and more of a requirement. It's kind of like, oh, they're really nice to have now, but I think eventually that's going to be more of a requirement. Take action. If you follow me at all or hear me talk or whatever, then you know that I'm a guy. I'm a take action guy. It's great that you're here. I'm so happy that so many people decided to attend the webinar and all that, but I'm up here talking. You're not going to make any money from me talking. The only way you're going to make any money from what you're learning here is to actually take action. And so here's your homework. If you're serious about becoming a better affiliate, work to set up 3 to 5 campaigns per week. Lately, this is something that I haven't been able to achieve, and it's been bugging me just because I've been so busy with everything else that I'm doing. But my goal typically per week is to set up 3 to 5 new campaigns. And that gives me an opportunity to replace the ones that are no longer performing and test new angles and test new offers and all that. So that would be my recommendation, is try to, set that as yourself as a goal. If you're, I know there's a few people that are watching this, they're like, Luke, I set up 30 campaigns per week. I'm like, okay, that's great, but most people don't have the time to do that. So I think, set yourself a good goal that you are going to be able to consistently achieve. Be patient with affiliate marketing. This is something that we talk about a lot in the community. It's so easy to get overexcited about everything that we're doing because there's just so much opportunity. It's ridiculous how much opportunity we have in the affiliate space. You don't know. I mean, your next campaign could be making you $1,000 a day. So I understand that there is a lot of, you're ready to go, ready to go. And the second that something doesn't seem to be performing, you're ready to cut it off and start something new. But it's very important that you be patient. I've found this myself over the years so many times. You just have to set up your campaign, run it, give it an opportunity to actually produce some sort of results for you. Set boundaries for your optimization so you don't over optimize your campaign. An example I put here is 3 to 5 times the payout per offer. So if an offer pays $10, do not touch that campaign until you spend $30 to $50. A lot of guys, you spend $10, you didn't get a conversion, you shut it off. Okay, it's not good. so yeah, learn how to set boundaries for yourself, and they don't have to be my boundaries. As you run campaigns, you'll see what works for you, but just try to be patient. And test new verticals and landing pages often. So this is something I do this. I get wrapped up in a vertical. Over the past year, I would say it's been dating. Like I've been super into dating campaigns. When the pandemic first hit, it felt like everybody was signing up for dating sites just to have a conversation, I think. And it worked really well for me. So I was just all in on dating, and I needed to test new verticals. And eventually I got to the point where I was like, okay, now, I'm testing carrier billing offers and all these other types of campaigns. So don't get too wrapped up. I mean, it's definitely important to learn a vertical and try to improve your campaigns in that vertical, set up new landing pages, all that. But remember to like test new things. And landing pages, obviously, like we said, they're super important. So test new landing pages often too. Do you need help? Because I know the place. So I've been doing affiliate marketing a long time. Like I said, I've helped a ton of people. I decided to create a community a couple of years ago for affiliates. I wanted a premium community. I wanted a place where everyone could go, have an open conversation, a friendly conversation, no egos or anything like that. And so I created AffLift. And I know a lot of you here are probably already a part of AffLift, I hope, and I appreciate it if you are. But AffLift is kind of I want to say it's my contribution to the industry, but I know that sounds ridiculous. But I think it's important. I think it's so important that we have a platform where people can go and talk, ask questions, and kind of build each other up. And so that's why I created AffLift. We're all trying to do the same thing that you are doing if you're watching this, and that's trying to make more money with affiliate marketing. That goes for me. It goes for probably 99% of the people that are watching this, that are going to watch this. We're all in this to try to make some money, right? Like that's our goal. So AffLift is a place I've created where we can go and talk about that and be open with each other about it and transparent, because it's not easy. It's definitely not easy. Okay, if you don't want to join AffLift, that's fine. I don't care. You can email me. My email address is right there. It's luke@afflift.com. I'm happy to help you. I love talking about affiliate marketing. This is like my favorite thing to do. And I actually love email. I know a lot of people don't, but I'm a big email guy. So feel free to shoot me an email, whether you're a member or not, and I'll be happy to answer any questions you have. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Luke. All right, just a second. Yeah, thanks again, Luke. Great presentation. Again, encouraging everyone to post their question through the Q&A widget. I've already seen some questions popping up, which is great. So I guess after getting the super affiliate and community manager, let's say, of AffLift founder perspective, it makes sense for me to drive you through the advertising platform perspective, which is definitely not going to contradict anything that Luke just told us about. So yeah, 2020's trends, what we've seen, actually prior to going over 2020, we will take a second to take a step back and remember what 2019 looked like. And then we will move on with 2020 and the main takeaways for 2021. Prior to that, a quick intro of Adcash. So who are we? So Adcash is a global self-service online advertising platform. We actually don't only do self-service. We also have a very strong team of sales managers that can help advertisers manage their accounts, their campaigns with their expertise. On the advertiser or demand side of things, we mostly work with affiliate marketers or media buyers, but we also have a very strong pool of direct advertisers. And we also work sometimes with ad networks. On the supply side or publisher side, direct publisher is what we do best, but we also, for quite many years now, are active in the programmatic space. And we, as of today, pretty much are connected to over 100 SSPs, which our advertisers can transparently target through their Adcash interface. In terms of the ad format, full screen ads is what we do best, interstitial and pop-unders, but we also offer complementary ad formats, in example push, native, and banner ads. When it comes to the geos, as you can see, we are global, so we are able to buy and sell supply, no matter the countries it's coming from, no real limitation there. So in terms of the agenda, I already quickly, in my intro, told you about the parts I will drive you through. So 2019 first, then Q1 2020, and maybe, question, the beginning of the end for push notification. Then Q2 and the COVID effect. Q3, where we all pretty much went back to normal life-ish, right? And last but not least, the takeaways for Q4 and the 2021. All right. So similarly as for Luke giveaway, we also at Adcash are giving away some free advertising budget. At some point throughout my presentation, you should receive a question on your Zoom screen, and anyone answering the question will have the chance to be unpicked and win a $250 or euro worth voucher. So be attentive. All right. So moving on with 2019, sorry, as I said earlier. Push notification, right, was one of those things that made the most noise in 2019, 2018 as well, and it still made a lot of noise in 2020, and it will in 2021. Clickbait has been one of those things people have been talking about. E-commerce, dropshipping, lead generation, native ads, ad fraud, unfortunately still around, and most likely will unfortunately stay around for a while. Big data, automation, something that Luc mentioned as well in his presentation. Automation is key. User privacy, GDPRs and the likes of GDPR, actually that kicked in 2018. And as an answer to that, kind of an answer to that contextual targeting that started or restarted being brought under the light. Programmatic, Facebook compliance that have obviously changed a lot in 2019. No impact for us at Adcash, but I guess for you, or at least the affiliate marketers that are part of the audience and that were used to be very active on Facebook, I guess those activities have been shuffled a bit in 2019. TikTok as one of the new noisy traffic source, influencer marketing, and last but not least, sweeps stating that Luc mentioned, Nutra and gambling as some of those verticals, offers vertical that did great in 2019. So moving on to Q1, what have we seen in Q1 of this year? Or at least, what is that segment that we've seen taken it, evolve in Q1 of this year? Push notification. So I'm not really going to answer that question. It's not a very straightforward answer that I'm going to provide throughout the two coming slides, but it's some kind of a debate then. So was Q1 2020 the beginning of the end for push notification? As a quick reminder, push notification were introduced in 2013, 15, 16, respectively by Apple, Google, and Firefox. Obviously, the main purpose of that channel has never been advertising, but the ad tech still took the opportunity as it saw a new ad type emerging from it. Luc correctly mentioned that the format has been a bit abused or over-abused, and that triggered obviously a lot of complaints from the end users. And those end users' complaints ended up triggering some new browser restriction, right? Which I think we all were aware of already back in 2019. Hence, the question everyone, or most of the affiliate marketers had back in Q4 2019 was, what will happen to push in 2020? That question still remains. But so what have we seen here at Adcash? What we do at Adcash with push are mostly three things. First, we offer push notification as a format for our publisher to generate earnings from their audience. Second, in order for those publishers to generate earnings, we need to sell their traffic. So we offer such traffic to our advertiser. And third, we also help advertisers, mostly affiliate marketers, collect users through their own landing page, and then they will monetize those users the way they want. That third option is the one that I thought would make sense for me to show you today. So through this graph, you can see the monthly evolution of the amount or volume of push collections, let's say, that we have delivered to those affiliate marketers buying traffic here at Adcash. Pretty much for the last 12 or 13 months or so. You can see that until the beginning of the year, that the volume of monthly delivered collection was pretty much stable. But as the browser started enforcing their restrictions with Firefox 72 in January 20, obviously not a big hit or impact as Firefox is losing more and more market shares. But long story short, Firefox 72 meant blocking the push notification subscription request by default. So of course, conversion rate for those landing pages running push collection dropped big time on Firefox. Then Chrome 80 kicked in February of the same year with a different but kind of still similar approach to Firefox, as through Chrome 80, the notification prompts became more quiet, also impacting the conversion rate. And last but not least, Chrome 84, which, as you can see, has had a much more reduced impact, started muting abusive push notifications. So two types of push notifications were considered as abusive. Permission request. So in example, a page using some kind of content locker to force the user to accept or to subscribe to push in exchange of getting access to the actual website content. And second, notification issues, so not permission, but notification, more muting, misleading, deceptive, I guess clickbaiting type of ads coming through push then. As you can see, well, the trend is pretty visible from the graph, right? And as a comparison, we've been comparing January of this year with September, so only 9 months apart. And while we see demand being stable, campaign count, right, minus 2% means in September we've only had 2% less push collection campaigns being active compared to January. We've seen the subscription count, the collection, drop by 64%. The demand is still there, meaning there's still some profit to be made by the affiliate marketers, but scaling that activity is getting more and more difficult. So I've tried to think of a bit of an humoristic way to answer the question in the headline, and taking 3 different approaches or 3 different perspectives. First one is Robert. Robert is a website owner, and he want to build, or he want to use push notification to do what it's supposed to be for, meaning re-engage his audience, his user base. Let's say every time he posts a new content, a new article on his site, right? So he will collect user, or he will, let's say, offer through his website the possibility for his audience to subscribe, so they will be made aware when new content is being shared. Second is Sam. Sam is an affiliate marketer, eventually like many of you attending today. And Sam expects, like most of us, sorry, to become a millionaire before the end of the year by developing and promoting push collection landing pages. Last, we got Anna. Anna is also an affiliate marketer. And Anna is looking, so she's taking a different approach when it comes to what she wants to do with push. She doesn't want to collect her own user base, but she want to jump on the massive supply that is available out there and do some arbitrage, some media buying, running some CPA, sweeps, crypto, dating offers. So long story short, Robert is fine. He won't be suffering, let's say, from the recent or not so recent anymore, browser restrictions. Though for some, it may be a bit late. It's not only, we not only are 40 days away from the end of the year, but as we saw in the previous slide, scaling push user base, push subscriber user base is getting more and more difficult. Last but not least, Anna. Anna is safe too. Even though the supply from push notification may have dropped recently, in-page push is here, and there is tons of supply available out there for Anna to make profit from such a media buying activity. All right. Moving on to Q2 and the effects from COVID. So back earlier this year, actually through our very first Adconf, volume 1, we pretty much focused on the impact from COVID. What we've seen and what you've seen, I guess, is the decks being shuffled, right? So what we've seen in our side is we've seen a lot of changes happening throughout the pandemic, throughout people getting locked down. For example, we've seen countries, or we've seen spikes of traffic coming from specific countries along the way as those countries were locking their citizens down. We've also seen verticals, offer verticals that used to do good, do even better as people were stuck home. We've seen some that used to do good, not doing so well anymore, as traveling, taking the example of travel, wasn't even a possibility for most of us. So we will focus today, the next couple of slides, on that part of the effects from COVID. So the effect it has had on campaigns verticals, offers vertical. So obviously split it into groups. Those verticals that have, let's call them the winning verticals, those that benefited from the pandemic, if I can say so. Gaming, and we'll go a bit deeper into what we've seen for gaming in the next slide. Food delivery, VOD, people looking for getting entertained. Fitness, people want to be in shape. VPNs, so that may be more related to the rise of concern with user privacy than only being strictly connected to the lockdown. Crypto, e-commerce, which, as you will see, we've also seen at some point during the lockdown being negatively impacted. And last but not least, just a second. And last but not least, sorry for that, casino. So yeah, those, just coming back to the previous slide, those were pretty much those verticals we've seen benefit the most or get the biggest performance spikes throughout the lockdown. Going deeper, as I said, into gaming. So similarly as the data we've transparently shared with you a couple of slides ago about the monthly evolution of the amount of push subscriptions we've been delivering to our advertisers, here you get the monthly volume of conversions, whether those are installation of mobile apps, gaming related, or registration into some, let's say, browser games. So the monthly evolution of those type of conversions coming from us here at Adcash. A reminder of when the lockdown started back in March and when it ended pretty much around May, June, depending on the countries. You can obviously see the trend. And long story short, what we've seen is more demand with 34% more campaigns being active in Q2. So April, May, June compared to Q1, January, February, March. And we've seen the conversion count more than double with a very nice increase of 117%. Right, so that reflects what I meant earlier with saying that gaming was one of those verticals that we've seen winning from the pandemic or the lockdown, rather. We'll get back to gaming in a couple of slides. Then the losing verticals. I mentioned travel earlier, sport betting, sport events shutting down, pretty much also in March, April. Travel no comment. Ride sharing, e-commerce. So when it comes to e-commerce, at the very beginning, as the delivery processes, logistics weren't pretty much prepared for what would follow, we've seen e-commerce being negatively impacted. But then on the longer run, it rather benefited from it. And last but not least, sweeps. For some reason, we've seen sweeps being negatively impacted, having lower conversion rate and overall less volume of conversions. Going deeper, similarly as we did for gaming, going deeper now with sport betting. So we took, again, similar approach, being transparent in terms of the trends we've seen in terms of the volume of monthly deposit we've driven to our sport betting partners. Taking a longer period of time because sport betting is one of those verticals that is impacted by seasonality, right? Usually summer, for example, are pretty quiet because most sporting events are not ongoing during summer. Obviously, 2020 was a different year. What we have seen, again, I'm not going to compare Q2 with Q1 of 2020 because seasonality oblige. So instead, comparing Q2 20 with Q2 19. We can see more demand with 11% increase, but we've seen a drop of 50% of the deposit count. Sorry, bit of a technical issue again. There we go. So yes, more demand, but less, much less, a lower volume of deposit being generated for our advertisers. Now, as Q3 kicked in, and as we pretty much all went back to normal life, we came back to the office after many months of working from home, and so did a lot of people around the globe. We've seen those, let's say, unexpected trend, in example, gaming growing so much, sport betting dropping so much, correct, let's say. Starting with gaming, going from the winning column to the losing column instead. So extending a bit the period we are looking at. So again, it's the same data that you see, the monthly volume of conversions we've been delivering to our gaming advertisers, but adding in Q3 data as well. And as I said, we've seen things coming back to normal. Demand dropped, 26% less campaigns being active, and the number of conversions went back to a similar level as the one we've seen in Q1 20. Moving on to sport betting, that did the opposite. Again, extending the time, so you get to see Q3 data as well. You can see that right after the lockdown ended, so around June, July, and as the sporting event restarted, the volume of deposit went back up. And when comparing, again, due to seasonality, Q3 20 with Q3 19, we've seen both increase. The amount of campaigns, so more demand, more advertisers, more affiliate marketers or direct advertisers jumping in and adding budgets and running campaigns, 18% of an increase. And we've seen the amount of deposits skyrocket, which obviously compared to Q3 last year is an enormous jump, not only because most of the sporting events that were not actually cancelled, right, during the lockdown, but they were rather delayed. So usually we get very low sporting season in summer, but here because events from earlier in the year got delayed to the summer or the second part of the summer was rather strong in terms of sport betting then. So after we've gone through, right, 2019, Q1 of this year, Q2, Q3, and as we are halfway through Q4 already, what are the main takeaways or learning points for Q4 and 2021? Home sweet home. As said, maybe I've repeated it too many times already, but anything that helps people get entertained at home, from home, or that helps people fulfill their needs. Sometimes no real needs, but still anything that helps people basically receiving home or getting delivered items, whether it's tech items, whether it is food, are definitely verticals niches to look into, starting from the current quarter, especially now that we are in November and the Black Friday, Cyber Monday things are kicking in as well. E-commerce, shoppable post, right? That's not something we do here at Adcash, but for those running e-commerce successfully or not successfully yet, shoppable post is a thing to follow in 2021, implemented mostly YouTube and Instagram. Influencer marketing, TikTok again, right, as a rising traffic source. Push losing attractiveness, it's a bold statement, but we've, at our level at least, I've seen it losing attractiveness already in 2020, and we do not see that trend going the opposite way next year. Maybe those budgets that were burned through push will move to native, native as a way to fight the banner blindness as well. Seasonal campaigns, took the example of sport betting earlier. I can take the example of e-commerce right now, as we get into the most successful shopping season of the year, let's say. B2B advertising, not something we do much here at Adcash, but we receive more and more complaints, not complaints, but requests, sorry, for running such type of offers. Automation, more and more automation always. Targeted versus non-targeted. So what we've seen as along the way, let's say every year we had new targeting features for our advertisers to benefit from. But we, along the way, do advise advertisers not to use all of them, right? Don't get your campaigns targeting to be too narrow, and always try to A/B test and have a narrow targeting with high bids and a not so narrow targeting with lower bids. So you can make sure, what is the best strategy to adopt. Emerging markets. And last but not least, diversification. Diversify your, at least as an affiliate marketer, I can advise you, or I strongly advise you, maybe you've already made that move to diversify your activities. Hopefully you weren't one of those running only travel or running only sport betting back when the lockdown kicked in. And yeah, diversification will help tackling or avoiding, spreading such a risk of losing it all from one month to another in the future. All right, so on top of the giveaway, we also have, as for every Adconf, a welcome bonus for new advertisers. So you can, anyone attending, listening to me right now, or maybe going over the recording through YouTube in the upcoming days, can get in touch with me. I will share my contact details in the next slide to request a top-up bonus. So anybody creating a new account and depositing €200 or dollar can get a 60 euro or dollar top-up bonus, 150 for a deposit of 500, and 350 for a deposit of $1,000 or euro. And there are my contacts. So maxime@adcash.com. A big thank you for those attending. And I will slowly but surely, so that she can get ready, hand over the digital mic to Tasha.
Hi, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, great. So I will start the presentation. And again, hi, everyone. My name is Dasha. Luke and Maxime had great presentations, and I hope I will present the same and share with you a lot of optimization and trend stuff. First of all, just a bit of intro so you understand why I'm speaking today. and what company I represent. I represent RedTrack company. It's a cloud tracking solution. We serve the needs of affiliates, publishers, advertisers, ad agencies, and practically everyone who do affiliate marketing, paid advertising, and so on. We help our users to consolidate all the data they receive from different channels in one place. We help them with the attribution, with accurate attribution of conversions, and help them automate traffic they buy and traffic they receive with their campaigns. And just a reminder that please ask your questions to me, Maxime, or Luke. We will then choose our favorite questions and give presents. Mine present would be 1 month free pro account that includes almost all the features every affiliate needs. So please be participative. So let's move on. I decided to make an experiment and not to provide you with your strict agenda. I decided to focus more on emotions, the emotions we all have today. I highlighted 3 stages, emotional stages. The first one, all we have with this holiday season, because we have Black Friday, New Year, Christmas approaching us. The second stage is what we have to do when all the holiday ends and seems like there are no money in our industry at all, but it's not. And the third one, as all the holiday stuff is over and we need to make plans for the future. So how should we proceed with this stage? But first of all, I want to highlight one good stuff we all have in 2020. And the good thing is that the web presence of users was never so huge as it's today. So for the first time ever, more than a quarter of holiday sales will occur online in this year. So it's huge opportunities for affiliates, for advertisers. For advertisers, sometimes it means that you have to compete for bids, but at the same time, we have huge audiences in our disposal, and it's a great plus. So what should we have? What should we focus on when running campaigns, whether it is holiday campaign or usual ad campaign? We would focus on offer, land, and traffic. And then let's proceed. With offer, what we need to do is to choose the product during, I would focus now mostly on holiday season. So what is trending in terms of products? What are the trends on the market and the creatives? In terms of products, we've recently released a big report of affiliate marketing verticals. We consulted with a lot of experts in affiliate marketing industry, and these 4 verticals were highlighted as top verticals in Q4 of 2020. It's e-com because of all this holiday stuff, sweepstakes, giveaways, app downloads, again because of e-com and holiday rush, and dating because it's an evergreen vertical, especially before Christmas. Everyone wants to have her own dates for this wonderful holiday season. And according to the most recent Forbes research, if you are in e-com business, top 4 offers that super great in Q4, all the home-related stuff like furniture, apparel, tech stuff, and in terms of tech, I mean mobile devices, airports, as well as home stuff like refrigerators, irons, and so on, and health and beauty stuff. My favorite topic are trends, and it's for the reason because a lot of affiliates just don't want to. No, okay, they don't want, but they don't like to follow trends because it actually requires time to understand what's happening on the market, where you should focus on. But it is actually the thing that is really influences your campaign performance. The first thing you should understand that, for example, in US today, all these political audience are not super lucrative for targeting because you compete with big political organizations for exports, and it's definitely what you don't want to do it. And it occurs only when you work with US office. If you work with European-based Asian, it doesn't matter, this trend. The second one, iPhone 12. This is how important to follow the trends. Several of my friends already found gold spot while promoting iPhone 12 with sweeps and pop. It does mean that I recommend everyone start promoting sweeps on pop, but it is something that you should consider when something just occur on the market, like iPhone 12. Please try to make money of this situation. And one interesting trend that I recently knew about, there is a show that recently that was released on Netflix, Queen's Gambit. I didn't watch it yet. Please comment if you did, because everyone says that it's really great. But once this show was released, the mobile chess games download increased 63% in the US and 11% worldwide. So you should understand that this something that happens in the industry, in the movie industry, had such an impact on the mobile sphere, on app downloads. So it's super interesting to understand and set trends, to see them. And this is something that is really difficult to do, but if you do, you find gold spot. And the third one about Office are creatives. The sad truth is that ugly banners perform better than pretty ones, but please don't just stop trying to make your banners look really nice. But the point here is that what you think is beautiful doesn't mean that it is beautiful for your audience. So the best thing to do is to appeal to data you collect, A/B test different banners, and this is the case how you find the one that performs great. If you run Black Friday offers, Black Friday, Christmas seasonal offers, make sure to post on creative that it is a limited offer. It prompts users to buy. It's super evident, but sometimes, but a lot of users actually skip this point. And one thing for 2021, one trend that you should definitely pay attention to is that Google releases an update, and it is a must-have that every banner needs to have a logo of the product on the creative. So if you don't apply to this rule, your banner can be rejected. So it's super important for 2021, but I decided to say it today because you need to be informed. The second, what we need to focus on while creating our campaign are landing pages. And the first thing, again, about Google is that in 2021, it will stop indexing all websites that have bad mobile optimization. So if you use landing pages in your funnels, please make sure that it is mobile optimized. And especially it's also super important if you work with lead gen offers, because if from mobile devices, it is really hard to reach the form on your website and fill the form with your name, email, and so on. Most people will likely abandon your landing page, and it's something you don't want to have. The second advice would be use dynamic parameters. What are dynamic parameters? Things that you can usually make with a tracker like RedTrack. If you work with offers that are worldwide, means that you receive visitors from any geo. It is super important. It's not important, but it's a plus for you, for your clicks, number of clicks and conversions, to personalize every lender as you can. For example, if someone from France will visit your LP, it will be shown that, hey, French guy, I'm really glad to see you here, please buy something. Or if someone from Germany visits your website, it's nice to have a German localized content. This is the stuff, again, that is usually made in the script on your landing page, and it is set up with a tracker. It's super simple. And the third advice would be use universal tracking script. Why it's important and what is it? Universal tracking script is a script, for example, that we at RedTrack provide. You put this script on your landing page, and no matter how a user visited your website, if he visited you from Facebook advertising, Google search, email marketing, and so on, once he landed on your landing page, we provide in the reports the first point, the first channel that this user used in order to go to your page. So you have a really transparent and accurate reporting on what channels, traffic sources are working for you and which one don't. Traffic. I don't want to focus a lot about traffic because Maxime said a lot about traffic. Just to provide you with a couple of hits as that social traffic doesn't perform as it expected. A lot of experts thought that the mobile that social media traffic will increase drastically because of all this COVID stuff, but actually social traffic increased only by 3-4%. It's super low. So you should understand that social traffic is, and Facebook as well are not the only one that you can use in your campaigns. Use ad networks like Adcash, Google, other sources, because they provide even sometimes more stuff than Facebook can. And Facebook just continue to introduce more and more restrictions. So a lot of advertisers quit this channel. I would not recommend to quit Facebook at all, but I would recommend diversify different traffic sources and experiment. And mobile again, because I've already told that mobile traffic is super important because of all these Google updates. And optimization hacks and tips that everyone like, and me as a part of tracking solution always like it. Campaign optimization. The first thing you should consider when launching your holiday campaign, your ad campaign, is bidding strategy. Usually people think about, okay, we have different kinds of options we can go with bidding, but in holiday season, I would recommend going with these one. The first one is to bid high at the very beginning, so to understand what's working for you and to blacklist the placements that doesn't work for you. And the option 2 is to bid low first, cut off that with this CTR that is less 1-2%, and then increase the bid by 20-25%. So you will ensure that you get more traffic that you didn't receive before, and you would receive more high quality zones. I can't say that option 1 or option 2 is better. It's always better to experiment. But if you already run your holiday campaigns and they perform good, I would not switch to either of these options, because if something is already good, just scale it and put experiments further for after advice level. But they don't optimize elements of the campaign like it's super important what each stage of the funnel the user created. So opinion is that always refer to data when you make adjustments to your campaign, because emotions doesn't really help when you run campaigns. You always need to consult data that you collect. some tracking hacks. And the first one, for those of you who work with Google and Facebook, please always use two super important combinations. You need to use no redirect tracking, because I hope you all know that Google and Facebook just hates redirects. Use always no redirect tracking, and always use custom domain. When you need to use custom domain is because it will save your account in Google. So I would always recommend, if you use a tracker, and you should use a tracker, always change the domain, so to improve performance of your campaigns in Google. If you have complex funnels, track separately all the elements of the funnel, like PREL, PLP, offer, because if just tracking the performance of a campaign as a whole, you might skip super important metrics, like that this offer doesn't really go with this targeting, and this landing page is not optimized for mobile, so you should exclude all the mobile traffic from this campaign. This should be tracked separately. Automation, the thing that was named by Luke and Maxime as well, it is important. It's super convenient to set something and forget it. But for holiday campaigns, I would rather say that don't hurry to put something on autopilot. Do some optimizations manually first, and then put it on autopilot. At ReTrack, for example, we provide traffic optimization based on ROI, CR, and EPC. The performance of these rules really great. And if you want just to experiment how automation works for you, I would advise to run a campaign one that use automation rules, the one that doesn't, and you will see the results. But auto rules work really great. Don't neglect caps. Why it's important? Because a lot of users keep, when they choose an offer, that some networks put caps on the number of conversions they receive daily from a user. So if you get more conversions that affiliate network receives, it means that you would not be paid for extra conversions. It is something that you don't want to get. So always read the rules of the offer, and don't forget to use caps. They're super easy to set up in the track as well. And important thing, before launching your campaign, always check that your tracking links are working. Usually you can do it inside Tracker as well, or use a separate tool like Affiliate Test, for example. It shows you if a tracking link is broken at the certain point of the redirect. And bot optimization, it's my last hack about bots. You all know, I hope, that bot traffic is tremendously increased in 2019 and 2020. And because we have a lot of web traffic in this year, it means that we have even more bots than in the previous year. You should always understand the difference between good bots and bad bots, like good cops and bad cops. Good bots are the bots by Google, Facebook, Bing, Yahoo, and so on. These are the ad bots. They check your website, so every link are working on your website and so on, and you don't need to block these ad bots. In ReTrack as well, we have separate reports for good bots, and we usually exclude them from the statistics, so you have a more accurate reports on your performance, but you can switch on and see how many good bots you have. What concerns bad bots, block them. You can use built-in solutions that, for example, Tracker provide. You can use third-party anti-fraud solution, but always use it, because a lot of money are spent to bot traffic. If you don't want to spend money on anti-fraud solution, I would advise to use a so-called bot trap. What it means is that, for example, you have a landing page and you just put a button that is the color of the background of your landing page. For example, your landing page is white, you create a button that is white and you put it on your landing page. The algorithms of bots works like that. They should click on every element that is on your website. A person will not do it, a real person. So once you collect all the IDs that clicked on this white button, you just put all these IDs in blacklists and exclude it from your campaigns. This is a case how you can cope with bots. It doesn't work with every kind of bot, but it will still help you a lot. Probably that's it. I hope it was not super overwhelming. If you have any questions, please ask. We have a Q&A session, as far as I know now. Thank you again for participating, for listening. And Maxime, I switch my word to you.
Thank you, Dasha. Thanks a lot for the presentation. Hopefully everyone enjoyed the, let's say, wide scope. You know, we've tried to bring everyone the perspective of the affiliate marketer, the platform, and the tracker used, both the platform and tracker used by the affiliate marketer. Hopefully that was enlightening. But okay, as Dasha nicely introduced, we now have around 15 minutes to take some questions in. We've got a lot of questions already, and I will drive us through some of them. So just a second. Just a minute for me to load the questions. All right. So I will take the first one. The first one is from Kelvin from Canada. And Kelvin's question is, sample of converting landing pages, or what are the offers that are converting on Adcash? So pretty much all the verticals that I have shown in my presentation within the winning vertical and losing vertical from the COVID effect are verticals that work for us. So any entertainment related product, let's say from gaming to video on demand, any gambling related product from casino to poker, going through sport betting, make money, crypto, right? Type of products are also products that work well, especially for push. Sweeps. Dating, that has been mentioned by the three of us, is also something that we are delivering a lot of conversions for, whether it is desktop dating platform or portal, whether it is a mobile app. Overall, as well, any mobile apps, utilities, VPNs are things that we should be able to deliver very relevant volumes for. Okay. A question for both Dasha and Luke from Devi Prasad from India. So the question is actually two questions. How to be more effective in advertising on Facebook first. And the second question is how to use LinkedIn for affiliate marketing. So I will repeat it once more. How to be more effective in advertising on Facebook, and how to use LinkedIn for affiliate marketing.
Would you like me to go first?
Feel free to look.
Yeah.
I honestly do not do a lot of Facebook advertising for affiliate offers specifically, just because Facebook has gotten so strict. We actually talked about that a little bit in this presentation. Facebook has kind of cracked down quite a bit on affiliates, and getting affiliate campaigns approved is pretty tough. but I do a lot of Facebook advertising. I just do it for my businesses like Athlift. In which case I would definitely recommend your own landing page. I mean, you're going to need your own landing page to get approved on Facebook anymore anyway. If you try direct linking an affiliate offer, you'll probably get banned fairly quickly. So your own landing page, some sort of pre-sell for the offer. I would recommend doing like an email opt-in where the user has to enter their name and their email, and then you follow up with that user via email. So you collect your own lead, and then you present them with the offer via email. I know some affiliates that are doing this, and it's working well. If you have some sort of funnel, that would also help. So not just, enter your email address and name and email and then be done. Like send them to another page that maybe pre-sells the offer even a little bit more, and then maybe just one final page with the actual link to the offer. With LinkedIn, I would recommend a landing page as well, just because I think you're going to have to pre-sell that audience. I don't do a lot of affiliate advertising specifically on LinkedIn, but I do have experience with them, and Quora, the like Q&A website is pretty similar to you have to provide some sort of value to the user. I feel like to get them interested in the offer. So yeah, I guess that's what I would say.
Well, actually, I have nothing to add because in terms of LinkedIn, I can't recommend anything because we just promote our own product there, and it's not the same as promoting affiliate products. In terms of Facebook, I agree with Luke that lead gen and opt-ins works good, but Facebook introduces more and more restrictions. So it is really difficult to recommend you something because what we just recommend might not work in 2021 already. But what I've heard that e-com works quite good with Facebook. But you should understand that not each offer and all this adult related stuff will be blocked promptly. Something like related to apparel, I know tech stuff, I think it will perform good. But e-commerce is something that is sometimes difficult to work with. So if you just start, I would recommend lead gen. If you're something like aware of what you are doing, I would recommend e-com for Facebook. That's it from me.
Thank you both. Thank you both. All right. So another question for you, Luke, from Gurjit from Canada. Any course/training you would recommend?
Well, this is going to sound awfully. I was going to say this sounds awful salesy, but I don't think that there's a lot of good options on the market. That's why I created Athlift, and that's why we have the Athlift community. And we actually have a beginner's course in the forum. It's a part of the forum membership called Pop's Guide, and it basically walks you through all the fundamentals we talked about, like setting up your tracker, setting up a campaign, a low budget campaign, using pop-ups. And I created that course because I felt like there wasn't really anything on the market that was good for beginners yet. And we've had, I think like 2,000 people go through the course, and it's been really, really successful. It's been up for about a year, and the members have given really good feedback about it. So obviously I'd recommend that. And then as far as other courses, there's really, like I said, there's really not a lot on the market. I think you can get a lot from a forum like Athlift. And then really the main source that I use for a lot of the information that I'm gathering besides Athlift is through the industry blogs. So like Adcash has a blog, RedTrack has a blog. Like just check the industry blogs and see like what people are talking about. Sign up for all the newsletters. Like I get like 100 emails a day from all the different newsletters from the industry that I'm a part of. And that's because I'm just looking for, what's new and what the companies are talking about. Because if they're talking about it, then it's probably a good time to hop on it. So that would be my recommendation. Obviously, Athlift is my favorite resource, and I've said this multiple times, but it's not BS. Like I learn something new like every single day from the forum that I own. Like it doesn't, it surprises even me.
Thank you, Luke. All right, so next one, I'll take one. So that one is from Joshua from Singapore. Any tips, particularly for media buyers, on what people are doing that is successful, apart from what can be observed on the ad spy tools? So in order to be successful, what do you need? You need to pick an offer. That is easy. You may need indeed a spy tool to understand how your, let's say, fellow affiliate marketers are promoting it, what materials are they using, and then you need a traffic source. Adcash is a traffic source, right? So the best way for me to answer that question is to give you traffic source related advices. And what we see on our side in terms of, let's say, what are the adversaries that have the best, we have the best retention rate with, right? Those that actually stay, spend constantly, meaning they must be making some profit. Is the best advice I could give from the data I'm seeing is to, you want to promote that offer on Adcash. You need to understand the audience that most likely is to be attracted by this offer. Let's say, again, I'm going to take an obvious example, but you want to promote a mobile app, a gaming app. In Adcash, we offer you ways to target such audience, whether it is through user interest targeting, whether it is through website vertical targeting, whether it is through keyword targeting. Then what I would advise you as the best strategy to find what is your best strategy to make profit from that offer is run a campaign using website vertical whitelisting gaming. Run a campaign B running the same offer, but instead of using the website vertical targeting, use user interest targeting. Again, targeting gamers. Run a campaign using keyword targeting. If the game, the CPL offer you get, or CPI, is for a game name, I don't know, whatever the name of the game is, try to have a campaign that runs and that whitelist keywords that somehow are matching with the name of the game, right? So you will hopefully be able to buy inventory at spaces within pages that are talking about that specific game. And last but not least, run a campaign without any of those targeting, right? Coming back to the targeted versus non-targeted approach that I mentioned earlier. Of course, the more narrow your targeting is, the less supply, the more your bid will need to be high so you can actually get traffic. But at least this way you are trying 4 different approaches. Yeah, you may need to have rather low caps for every single one of them instead of having one big cap if you would have kept a single campaign. But at least you are ABCD testing. Something else just on top is you can, when it comes to Adcash, you can get in touch with our team, whether it is our support team, whether it is our customer success management team or our sales team, key account management team, to understand where, what is our supply made of. So based on that information, you will understand better what type of offers would convert on our supply.
If you don't mind me, I'm sorry, if you don't mind me cutting in, I agree with everything you just said. And one thing that you can't see on a spy tool is you can't see the actual campaign structure. And this is something that I talk a lot about with some of the like super affiliate friends that I have. When you set up your campaign, you hit on this. You want to segment that campaign to like as narrow as you can get. You're going to pay more for the bids, but having like, let's just use an obvious example. You want to set up a campaign for mobile and you want to set up a campaign for desktop, assuming you're going to target both of those types of devices. So you want to have 2 campaigns there, not just one. Campaign structure, I think, is something that like not a lot of people talk about, but it's really important because then you're paying the best possible price for the traffic that you are actually getting on that campaign. It makes the optimization a little easier. And also hit on your what you just said about the reps. Another thing that you can't see in a spy tool is the conversations that I'm having with all of the people involved in the campaign that I'm running. So I have, every rep that I know from Adcash is on my Skype, and every affiliate manager that I know from the network that I'm running the offer from is on my Skype. And I talk to those people all the time. You have to be able, building a good network is an advantage. Like that's an advantage I have over the next guy, is that I have all these contacts. But the way that I got those contacts is just doing outreach. So that's something that I would definitely recommend every affiliate consider.
Thank you, Luke. Okay, next. Another I would say another campaign, but no, another question for you, Luke, is how much money? So it's from Yassine from Morocco, and the question is, how much money do I need to start affiliate marketing with specifically native ads?
Yeah, I get the question what your budget should be when you start fairly often. And unfortunately, there's a lot of people that reach out to me who are wanting to get started who really just don't have the budget yet to do it. In general, with affiliate marketing, I recommend a budget of $200 to $500 to get started. There are many people that will say you should have a higher budget than that. But I think if you're really interested in doing this, if you have $200 to $500 that you can spend and afford to lose, then that is enough to at least kind of get a feel for how everything works and see if this is something that you want to attempt long term. For native specifically, typically native, we recommend a higher budget. For years and years, I always said, I think if you want to really give native a try, you have to have at least $1,000. And the main reason there is that there are so many different, a lot of sites call them widgets, sites, whatever the case may be. There's a lot of different sources that you're going to get traffic from within native. So optimizing a native campaign is a little bit more intense and typically requires a bigger budget. But lately, I feel like there's a lot of native networks, and plus with all the tools and automation that we have now, I think that you can probably run a native campaign with like $200. Depending on the platform you decide to run it on. So what's a good starting budget? I honestly, obviously the more the better. Unfortunately, that's just the truth. Like the better budget that you have that you can start with, the more testing you can do, which leads to more data, which leads to you being able to have a higher potential for success. But I think if you're super interested in native, don't let that $1,000 number just deter you from trying it. If you have $200 that you can put into a native source, give it a try. I'm the execution guy. Like I always say, like the best thing that you can do is run a campaign. Like we can talk about it all day, but running an actual campaign is where you're going to learn. So is $200 going to be enough for you? I don't know. You are going to have to run your campaign and see, but I think it's feasible to at least try.
Thanks, Luke. Okay, last question, as we are running out of time. It's the every year coming question, every time at the same time of the year. And we can, I guess the three of us try answering it the best we can. What do you think will be the top verticals? So it says for push, native, and pop in 2021, the best vertical in 2021. I guess not so the discussion will not be never ending. Let's try to maybe pick our top three respectively then. So I will go. I will go.
Go ahead.
I will go. So I'm gonna say e-commerce. It's very vague. It can be vague because there are many niches within e-commerce, but I'm just gonna say e-commerce based on the fact that many people bought their first item online in 2020, as they had no other choice but to. And so I guess those have gained confidence in the process. They are fine putting their credit card payments online through secure websites. And I think that is just enlarging the pool of people able to convert on such offer. I'm going to say then make money, again, super vague, because they include within make money crypto and gambling. So, right, gambling meaning sport betting, and casino mostly. And last, I'm gonna say gaming, mostly mobile games, as desktop isn't really the place to be anymore for games, and that's just gonna be it for me.
Sure. So I think probably the biggest vertical that we're going to see activity on in AppLift, and probably the one that will generate the most revenue across our community next year is probably going to be like mobile content carrier billing offers, which I mean is kind of a vertical. It's more of a type of offer, but the offers that the people are running in those are games, video on demand, all kind of a lot of the popular vertical types that we've already talked about. But that type of offer, I think, is what's going to be really big next year. That type of billing structure seems to be working well. A lot of countries are still really cool with it. In the traffic in a lot of the countries that are okay with it is pretty cheap, like tier 3 countries. So I think we're going to see a lot of that, especially in like the sweeps type offers. It's like the one click flow, the 2-click flow, the SMS type offers. If you don't know what those are, we talk about it all the time in AppLift, or a simple Google search will be able to give you some results for that. So yeah, I think that's probably going to be really hot. And sweeps has been huge for years, and I don't see that going anywhere.
Thanks, Luke. Any specific one you have in mind on your side, Dasha?
Because especially if we have something like COVID again, but I would say definitely dating for sure, because dating needs non-COVID, before COVID, after COVID, it always works great. I agree with Luke about sweepstakes, because we have a lot of questions around sweepstakes, and we didn't see any declines on such requests. And I would say gambling, casino and betting because a lot of people miss it, and it was super lucrative niche in gambling, even more than casino. And I think it will be the rebirth of betting in gambling.
Thanks, Dasha. All right, so we are a bit over time, and I'm gonna wrap up today's conference. Big thank you to both Dasha and Luke for the great presentation and for the great cooperation in for the last couple of weeks. We've been all working hard on making today's session happen. A big thanks as well to everyone that has attended. We will shortly follow up by email to all of you. The session has been recorded, will be posted on YouTube shortly. Giveaways, winners will be announced, etc., etc. So be on the lookout for that email. And we will, at Adcash, do our best to become or to come back strongly with Adconf in 2021. And last but not least, a big thank you to our marketing team for the first time this year organizing the Adconf. So yeah, wishing everyone a good evening or day. And again, hopefully you've enjoyed today's session. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.